am I if I can't be perfect? What is the word perfection? Well, according to the Student Dictionary, it took me 10 minutes to find. Perfection is the state of being without fault, the highest degree of excellence. It's a lot of word, but it makes sense. To you, perfection may mean something like making everything just right, but for me, perfection means much more. The way I define perfection would be an addiction you can't get rid of. Something telling you in the back of your head, this speech isn't perfect, you're not perfect, my hair, my outfit, my personality isn't perfect. Not only is it an addiction, it's a disease. This addiction to perfection started when I was going into 5th grade. After my parents divorced, the only times my dad called or texted me was for special occasions like a holiday. I was always the one to reach out or ask to see my dad. I knew he loved me, but deep down, it felt like I wasn't perfect enough. What was most upsetting was there was nothing stopping him from calling or texting me back. Even though he was 20 minutes away, I felt fatherless and abandoned. But no, he was around, just not for me. I felt that I wasn't perfect enough for him. While it seemed perfection, skipping a page ahead. While I struggled with my relationship with my dad, my sister and mom always supported me. While it felt I was fatherless, my mom became both parents. She bought me flowers, took me out to eat, and always held the door open. In school, I made sure to achieve anything I could. I retook tests I didn't get 100% on. I joined clubs and sports such as softball, volleyball, and an attempt at basketball. I did this because I knew if he heard I achieved something, he would come back into my life for a bit. Sometimes he even brought me flowers when I had awards. The praise felt like an addiction, so I continued to have unrealistic expectations for myself so my dad would give me attention. I had kept this addiction into 8th grade because I was so focused on school and extracurriculars, I'd never made time to interact with my peers. I was the outcast, the nerd, and I felt not perfect enough to talk to them. Instead, I developed relationships with my teachers and guidance counselor because I didn't feel like I had to be perfect when I was with them. Still, they'd push me to interact with others. I was so insecure and felt judged by my peers, so I focused on what I knew, perfection. While it seemed perfection was my way to cope and thrive, I realized was the way that I would also come crumbling down. When 9th grade started, a feeling appeared that I had never felt before. I felt alone, numb, and depressed. Over the next 6 months, I had ignored it and just kept my perfect image. But somehow, the more I pushed to be perfect, the more depressed I was. While I don't remember when my mindset changed, I do remember how it felt. It felt like a switch flipped in my mind. I felt free. It finally clicked in my mind that I was doing too much, like my counselor's mom and English teacher had told me. I realized I'm never going to be perfect enough for him. The whole reason I was depressed and burnt out was because of my addiction to perfection. I finally knew it was killing me on the inside. My addiction to perfection may have been visible to others, but never to me during it. I became more balanced and started spending more time socializing with others instead of late night studying. I remember the first time I had actual fun, the kind I considered overrated and stupid. I had went to hibachi with some of my new friends, and we were laughing the whole time. And when I thought the fun was over, one of my friends suggested we go for a drive. 1 hour later, we were blasting music in the car and stopped at the gas station for slushies. It was at that point I realized I had no clue what time I should be home. I had texted my mom asking her when my curfew was, seeing I'd never gone out before. I know my sister's curfew was 10 o'clock, so I was excited to hear that my mom told me it was 11, to which all teens do, I negotiated another half hour because I was having real fun. She then told me later that my sister and her were talking about my text. My sister was shocked I asked for a time to be home, seeing I've never gone out before. In almost my 15 years, I had experienced real fun for the first time in 9th grade when I was 14. I started balancing my school and social life, like a perfect seesaw in midair. but nothing is perfect. In fact, I applied for FFI for another achievement to be proud of. But being here, now I know I've grown to learn here that FFI is more than something to be proud of. It's about failing and trying again. In the short time I've been here, I haven't focused on being perfect. Because FFI has taught me it's not humanly perfect and I should be my authentic self. Currently, I've cut out my father from my life. It allows me to achieve something I want to, not because I have to. I'm standing here today as proof that perfection is impossible. I'm perfect for my heart, kindness, and humor. Not my grades, accomplishments, or what you can find on a paper. And I'm not a failure if I slip back into this trying to be perfect thing, because I'm more aware of it now. I'm a fighter for standing here today and sharing my story.